Good morning and welcome to our homestead. I want to have a little bit of a chat with you guys regarding food security on the homestead and why the garden was not such a priority for me in the last year and what I am planning to do now because it's getting tough. So let's go and get started with that. Also quickly, I've just spotted a rabbit in our greenhouse and I am going to show you. These rabbits have been coming on our plot for a while now and I don't know what this one is doing, but let's go see it. Can you see? Hello. Hello, bunny. Can you even see? I don't think it can see. It looks very young. I don't think it can actually see what's going on here because it's not even running. And these bunnies are usually really fast. Anyway, when I said it's been tough on the homestead in terms of food security, I meant we are now running out of food that we would usually not buy, right? So tomatoes, cucumbers, broccolis and all the other green vegetables that you people buy, fresh vegetables, we have not been buying them for a couple of I wouldn't say years, but I think most of last year we were not buying any of them. So now we are running out because first of all, I did not manage to have like a proper garden the whole of last year, and we have been eating vegetables that have been preserved, so now they are running out, and we have to actually start making a plan and make sure that we refill those reserves that we had and have fresh vegetables on the farm again. So this is my go-to gardening Bible because we don't really have a lot of gardeners the same way, other countries have lots of people gardening on YouTube. We have to refer to a lot of books, and this book has been a game changer for me. This is where I learned how to do companion planting and why it's so important. So yes, I really refer to this book a lot, but of course we've had to learn to adapt to our climate because it is a little bit different and some of the things here are very generalized. So we have had to learn our microclimate and see what really works for us, but it is definitely worth it. It is by Jen Griffiths. It's called Jen's Delicious Garden. I think she has newer books, but this one has been a game changer for me. We grow the same things year after year, so we kind of know what really works and what does not work with our stuff. So we grow things we really like, grow things that we like to eat. And I am also going to be starting some seeds. We got these seeds when we went to Thailand earlier last year, and I just want to try and see if these varieties actually work. So these are yard long beans. This is watermelon fruity. I don't know what's going to be the difference to our watermelon. And then we have this nice eggplant. I've not seen this variety here. And we have this round eggplant as well, which is really different. And another eggplant. I don't know why we have so many eggplants, but my son and I have been trying to eat eggplant, so we bought a lot of different ones to see which ones actually taste good. And then we have cucumber. So I'm going to start this, and then I'm also going to do some planting of some of the seedlings that I have right now. I am going to start these seeds in real soil. It's a mix of soil and other things. Let me show you. This is what it looks like. It's a mix of everything that we've been adding in here. I'm also just starting them in a big bucket because it just makes it easy to maintain and water and, you know, pay attention to them instead of being in different little tubs in terms of watering. And also we've realized that we get the best success when starting seeds in a wannabe greenhouse set up. So we are going to close this, and then it's going to keep all the moisture nicely. So this is so much better for me. I don't really have to keep it in the greenhouse. I'll just keep it under a tree, and when they start showing, then we can start opening them up slowly, and it's easier to harden them when they are in a bucket like this because it's movable. It's not a lot of work. I'm also going to be adding perlite so that I can improve the drainage in here. This holds a lot of moisture, but also it allows the water to move in here nice and free. I have found that this is really important to add, especially when you're going to be using soil and you're not using the cocoa peat and all the other seedling or seed starting mixes that you usually get in a store. So if you decide to start yours in normal soil that you have in your home, if you could just get perlite, it's going to really help with the drainage because you don't want it too wet all the time, but you want it damp enough, which it does really well. I'm just removing the big chunks of rocks in here, stones, rocks in here, and wood chips so that I don't have any of those things sitting on top of my seed, because that's going to prevent it from coming out. Okay, so now we're putting in our seeds. I'm not really going to label them in here because most of them are eggplants, and there's only going to be cucumbers that are different, and the watermelon, so it's definitely going to look different. I'm just going to put them in here, and then whatever comes out comes out. But I am going to pay attention to them because I really want them to come out, and I think they're going to look cute. I have no idea what is written behind here or any of the instructions, but I know it's eggplant. It should take 3 to 4 months to be ready, so it shouldn't be different. But let's see how they grow. Let me wash my hands. I'm just going to be adding 6 of each. They are really small, really small. So I'm done with this. I'm not going to water because the sand in here was already really wet. So I'll keep them like this for a few days, and then I'll show you guys in the next video if they are now coming out. If they are not, then we'll also check them out to see what's going on. But I'll definitely show the progress of those, because these are definitely seeds that I want to come out. Anyway, I am now going inside the garden, or where the garden beds are, so that I can plant some of the seedlings that I have. Last time I got a lot of heat from you guys saying that my garden is not mulched, it looks dry, etc, etc. It's been raining almost every other day in this area, so it's definitely not dry. If you had mentioned this sometime last year around, say, September, October, no, actually from like July, yes, the garden was dry, but the whole of December it's been raining non-stop. January it's been raining non-stop, and I am going to show you so you can see that the garden is not dry and it is heavily mulched as always. This is where my garden starts. This is the pumpkin patch that is looking beautiful, and it has flowers, and it's actually starting to produce a lot more, and it has some yellow leaves because obviously I've not maintained yet. I just have to remove the yellow leaves. That is just normal in organic gardening. You are going to find leaves that don't look the part, and also because it's been raining so much, there's powdery mildew on some and some not, and once the powdery mildew has like taken over most of the plant, they become yellow, so it's not like they are dry. And this area, some of the beds I topped them up before leaving for the holidays. For example, you can see here, this is topped up, but this is how my normal bed looks like. You can see it has a lot of mulch, so most of these beds have mulch. This was topped up, that's why you can see there's nothing in this bed except for marigolds. There's also nothing in this bed except for these two chimolias that are doing whatever they are doing. This is mulched. Those ones were also topped up. You can see I topped them up with some weeds featuring soil. That's why the weeds are actually coming back, because the soil that I was putting in here already had these kinds of weeds. So this was topped up, but this is mulched, that is mulched, that is mulched, that is mulched, that is mulched, and that is mulched. That is mulched. I am the queen of mulching. Like, we mulch everything in our home. Every single thing is mulched. So you guys, I know you are concerned, but no, the garden is always mulched. We live in a very, very hot and humid area. So mulching is a must. If you actually don't mulch in this area, then your garden is definitely going to die. So don't worry, we are mulched and ready to start gardening again. So let's take those seedlings and actually put them down and try again our luck at growing peppers in this growing season, because we definitely failed earlier this year, last year. I am just starting with the capsicums here because I really want some green peppers. Last time we had lots of green peppers and we preserved them. Oh no, worms. Sorry. This is why I don't like digging the soil, because there's always worms. Anyway, so I am putting in these green peppers because the last seedlings that I put in all died because of the heat. So we are trying again, and this time around I'm hoping for the best because it's raining a lot. It's usually cloudy. It's still so humid, but I think the temperatures are much better. I'm also just planting in this bed because it already has flowers. Marigolds are the queen of the garden, so I really like that it's going to start protecting the seedlings immediately. So that helps, just removing some of those leaves so that they can come back a little stronger. Put them in there to feed the worms, because the worms are everywhere. Oh, there are so many worms. I should stop using the little metal thing because to probably kill them. Sorry, go back. I should remove the leaves first. Open up a hole, put those leaves in there first, loosen the roots, and then plant it just like that. I'm also going to just drop some seeds of nasturtiums and borage. So nasturtium seeds, let's put 2 because these will take over the garden, and then we put a couple for borage. When you're putting them in the ground, there's no guarantee that they're going to come out, so just putting a little extra helps. Just for insurance. Close them lightly. Oh yes, I also have seeds for mustard spinach. I want to see if it's going to come out. If it grows well, then yay. If it doesn't, it's also okay. We found that Swiss chard does much better in summer than all the other ones, so I'm hoping something comes out, but if it doesn't, it's also okay. getting potatoes in here. I've got a bunch of catnip in here, which I'm going to use as mulch now, like so. And then eventually, when it decomposts, it's just going to hold the moisture in there. But we'll add other types of mulch. I actually have to clean the chicken coops so that I can get the grass and the chicken poo and add it in here for that added nitrogen. I'm also just going to put some nasturtiums here and borage from my pocket. Nasturtium. This is the last bed I am planting for today. Having a small garden this year was very intentional because we knew that we were going to be building, so I knew that I would not be prepared to have so much work on the homestead, including the building and everything else in between. So we really wanted to make sure that we can have a garden that we'll be able to pay attention to and just make sure that it actually flourishes, because a lot of the times we want to have gardens that are extremely big and then you're wondering why your vegetables are dying. It's just because you're not paying attention to them if you're going to grow organically. This is more brinjal. I don't know if you guys like brinjal. Eggplant, but yeah, we are really trying to add it into our diet a lot more, hence it's being planted a lot this time around. And also it just grows so well in our area, so that just helps. We really want to make sure that we focus our energy on things that are actually going to grow instead of stressing over stuff that we know it's not going to grow and then we're just forcing things. I really don't have time for that. I am adding some complementary seedlings that I got from Living Seeds. This is a pollinator blend and these are bush beans. So bush beans and eggplants actually do really well together because the bush beans don't grow too big, and also they they add nitrogen into the garden beds, so they're going to work very well as companions in here. I'm excited for this. A big part of being on the homestead, or homesteading in general, is ensuring that you are providing yourself with enough food to eat. So yeah, we do buy some of our food in the store because we are not yet growing everything on here. But if we wanted to, I mean, we do want, if we had enough time to actually focus on growing our own food on the homestead, we would be able to provide ourselves with at least, I'd say about 80% of our produce could really come from the homestead. So it's something that we want to focus on this year. We'll see how that goes, but honestly, I want to put in the time in the garden and just make sure that we are growing enough throughout the year, and succession planting has to become part of my job and diary to make sure that we have enough food on the homestead. So yeah, I've put in the beans here and the eggplant. Now I'm just going to add in some flowers. Okay, it's a blend of marigolds, borage, and I think the other ones are zinnias. So nice, not bad. So I shouldn't put a lot in here because they'll obviously take over. I honestly just, when it comes to flowers, I sprinkle and then just close them lightly. I'm also noticing that I've got ants, a lot of ants in this bed. This is really concerning because they might eat my seeds. Yeah, ants everywhere. Ants everywhere. So now we are left with mulching. I will have to go into the chicken coops to get the grass so that I can put on these beds. But I'm gonna leave them like this for now, just today. And then it's going to rain later. Hopefully it rains. Then tomorrow I'm going to put in the mulch. So I am going to stop here for now, and then we'll continue later because we have to go to church. But if someone was to ask us what's really going on in terms of our garden, we'll tell them we don't know, because it's the climate, the seasons have been so different, and we are also trying to adapt and, you know, keep up with everything that's been going on. The first year we were here, it was an amazing year. The following year, it literally flooded everything. Then the following year, we lost almost everything that we had grown, our trees, from frost. It got so cold because we were not prepared to experience frost in a place like this, and we didn't cover up anything. We just thought it was going to be cold and then we'd all be able to just move on and everything will be fine. But things are really changing. We are experiencing climate change in real life. Like, no one is telling us about it. We are having to experience it in real time, and we are having to adapt and change with the seasons as well. So yeah, it's been really a learning curve, and we are learning that if we want to sustain the way we live, sustain, you know, being able to grow our own food, because a big part of homesteading is the sustainability element of it. So if we can't sustain the way we grow food, then we are going to struggle providing food for ourselves on the homestead. So we need to change how we interact with nature. I mean, we are already growing our vegetables in an organic way, but I think we need to start thinking about regenerative farming, canopying, as you guys have suggested, and other ways that are just going to make it easier for, for us to manage. And when there is extreme weather changes, weather patterns, then our vegetables or our food is still still there or taken care of. I don't know. We are struggling a little bit in terms of understanding what's really going on in terms of the season. So yeah, I am very transparent with you guys, and I'll keep you updated so that we can see how the garden is going to look. I'm telling you, 3 months is all it takes for your garden to look different, for the homestead to look different. So I think in March it's going to look so different. So yeah, I'll keep you updated and see you in the next one. I get so excited when I have to share gardening stuff. So if you want more gardening tips and tricks, come to my Instagram page, and then you get to start your own garden and see what we do out there. See you in the next one. Bye.